And wait, Welcome, everyone. You are watching the 2025 WPBA Olhausen Raxx Mezz Invitational here in West Hempstead, New York. My name is Lonnie Fox Raymond. I am the host of this show, and I am being joined in the booth by none other than the Iceman himself, Mr. Mika Immonen.
Hey, how are you?
Thank you for
Lonnie,
joining us. We've got a
Thanks for
monster.
inviting me.
Yeah, we got a monster matchup here. Looks like a Pia Filler, the killer, versus Allison Fischer, the Duchess of Doom. This is an elimination round match. Allison just completed a pretty tough loss to Rita Cho. That Mika and I were actually able to watch a little bit of the last of that. And Allison was fighting hard in her comeback, but wasn't quite successful.
Yeah, that was a tough last rack. She would have been hill, but got a little tough shape on the 9 and tried to feather it, but missed it. But we know she's definitely warmed up now.
Just hitting a few balls on the feature table just to get herself reacclimated. A little bit different space in the room. Don't expect it to be too much different than the tables she just played on. The equipment here is fantastic.
Yeah, it's diamonds, very consistent tables, and looks like the cloth is similar, so on all tables I don't think there's any adjustment to be made here.
Yeah,
just a little bit of mindset, coming after a tough loss. Maybe sometimes it's good, like you have a little bit like some of that adrenaline from the disappointment can work in your favor sometimes. You just got to zero out the negative part.
All right, so for those of you guys who are just tuning in, Pia Filler is in the left of your view and Allison Fischer is on the right, if you're not familiar, which I would doubt many of you are not. It looks as though Allison has won the lag. Let's go over some of the Raxx rules here, because Mika's just jumping in.
Yeah.
So they lag for the first break, which you just saw. There's an alternate break format thereafter.
Yeah.
9-ball doesn't count on the break in the bottom 2 pockets. The 9-ball is on the spot.
Yes.
And no break box. The opponents are going to rack for each other. That is something that is very different here.
That's different, yeah,
from most tournaments.
Most tournaments, I don't know.
And that's just a WPBA thing. I don't know if it's
cool.
Forever, but it's for now. 3 consecutive fouls is a loss of game, and this is cue ball fouls only.
Okay, let me ask you something about the break.
Sure.
Are we monitoring break speed, or you can just hit it soft? Or
No, so
that makes a big difference.
Yeah,
when mine's on the spot.
Yes, it does. They're saying no soft break.
Right.
And this table is actually in place directly in front of the tournament director. So far we haven't had any major mishaps with that.
Right.
We're not allowing our opponents to make that call for us, but if the tournament direction sees it, you get 1 warning.
Yeah, if it's obvious, they get a warning, and but everybody's pretty much been trying to not take advantage of it.
Trying to be as honest as possible. The girls here are pretty good about that. But here we go. We're going to see Allison. All the girls are aiming for the 1 in the side pocket.
Yeah, the 1 inside, and then you get the corner chance to make the corner ball, the wing ball. You hit it, that's 2 chances there. But
try break.
And so that's, you have to get 3 balls past the kitchen, or
no 3-point rule.
Oh, well, she made a ball in the corner, so.
Oh, she did. I missed it.
She made a 3 ball.
Yep.
But one's a little tricky. I don't know. She's just come off a match where she played a lot of defense. Who knows? There's an aggressive option here, or 2. You could play straight in the corner, or you could bank the 1 in the side. Both shots provide a good position on the 2, but looks like she's aiming for the corner. Let's have a look. I mean, that's.
All right.
It was a tough shot, but she wanted to start out with something, a confidence booster, perhaps.
So while Pia's at the table, let's give her a quick shout out. Pia resides in Germany. She is one of the 2 in the Killer Filler duo. She's currently ranked number 6 on the WPBA. That is her highest ranking to date. She's a Predator-sponsored player, as well as Apex and Arc pool tables, Andy Cloth, and How Tips. She's a team world champion. She's an 8-time European champion, a 2-time Euro Tour winner, and she also won the WPBA Capital City Billiards event last year. She plays with the Predator Sang Lee, also with the Predator BK Rush Break Cue, and of course the Air Rush Jump. All Predator, all the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, she's all suited up.
Now, Allison, on the other hand, Allison is on your team, correct?
Yeah,
She's a Mezz sponsored
I actually
player.
brought my Mezz shirt here just just
He had to make
since
sure he put his
it is the
Mezz shirt
Mezz
on.
tournament, you know.
That's right. It's a great one too. This has been one of the better events so far this year. I love it here. Holden's
Yeah,
amazing.
Holden's a great host. Food is great. Tables are great. I mean, there's, you know,
Caroline's done a wonderful job, so thank you to you and your team from Mezz for supporting this event. We appreciate you guys immensely.
yeah, thank you. Caroline's definitely like very efficient when it comes to things getting done.
Oh yeah, I heard her bossing you around.
I allow her. She's allowed.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
But she can be tougher than people give
Oh,
her credit for.
I know. Trust me.
Mika's like, trust
For a
me.
for a reason, usually,
Yeah, she's fantastic.
All right. So this is a little tricky. The 8 goes in just one corner, and he's got to play good shape on the 7, which she did achieve here. Like this is nice. You can either go forward and 2 rails, or you can play this kind of a sweet draw shot with a little bit of right spin, just to kind of get a little bit closer to the 8. I kind of like the draw shot if you're really feeling the table, because top spin you might have to play a little bit reverse spin, and then now you're flirting with the 9 here. So but I don't think there's anything that she can't overcome.
Maybe drag it to the left long rail.
Yeah, the problem with, like, I don't know if she can avoid hitting the 9, just follow, and then come play the 9 in the same corner. But if you hit it a little hard, the cue ball stays longer on the tangent line. And if you flip the 9, it could be a problem. But looks like she was able to avoid that, and I
hit
even
that
played
really
it with
well.
inside English.
Yeah, she hit it really well. So there's a question in the chat asking about a restock on Mezz cues. Looks like someone's been looking to purchase one. They've been sold out.
Yeah, I am the wrong person to ask. That would be Caroline. But I think even though the website says sold out in a lot of items, there could be some restock that,
That are access
in
to
the recent
you
time
guys,
that,
yeah.
that I'm not sure if the website's completely up to date, but she could have some items in stock that but it is, unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff is back ordered. It is, we make our stuff all in one premises in Gunma Prefecture, not far from Tokyo. It's about an hour ride in the countryside, but Mezz company in that little village is very famous, and I've had the opportunity to visit the factory 3 times, maybe 4, but it's such a beautiful facility. But they can only produce so many cues, and it's become so popular.
Well,
in the last 10 years, it's exploded in popularity, and we have a lot of dealers worldwide, and it's the demand has exceeded the supply, and this problem with the
it's
supply
never
chain.
a bad thing, right? But it is for people trying to snatch one up.
Yeah, it's a luxury problem from the production point of view, but they're constantly doing more. They're innovating, and they're getting more machinery in, and just like Mezz and Exceed cues have become very sought after, which is obviously the higher end line.
I gave my husband, I needed a new jump cue, and I gave him 2 options. I gave him an option of an Air Drive 3 or the Predator Air Rush. Those are the only 2 that I would accept for a new jump cue.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it as a gift for Christmas, and he ended up getting a hold of he tried to get both, and had trouble getting the Air Drive 3. I told him he should have reached out to Caroline, and ended up getting the Predator Air Rush. But I told him those were the only two
Yeah.
that were acceptable, in my
Well,
opinion.
you're right about that.
They're wonderful jump cues.
They're both great jump cues, and I did this little experiment with Del Sim, and we were trying different jump cues out, and I was trying to be as unbiased as
Unbiased,
possible.
yeah. It's not easy.
But it was the Predator Air and the Air Drive 3 that made it to the finals of that experiment, and then we both liked the Mezz better, but that's me saying, and I'm
I tried them
sponsored
both. Yeah, of course.
sponsored by Mezz
Yeah.
for like 21 years.
Yeah.
being
You're
with them.
like the face of Mezz cues in the US for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we're back in action here. Pia's putting pretty quick work to this rack.
Right. She's playing really good patterns, and
How did you
looks like
feel?
she's confident.
Did you watch any of the progress of any of the ladies at the Derby City this last year? Were you able
Well,
to catch any
I
of
got
that?
I got Pia actually like knocked me out, and so I was watching her. She played a good match against me, so I
She
was
played so well.
I was at the receiving end of that.
Oh.
Her, and she was her break was on. She really just I was I was really a spectator, so I didn't have many chances, and when I did have a chance, it was kind of weird layout. So,
She
but
she
yeah.
played exceptionally
No
well.
excuses. She played good, and
Yeah.
I think she would have beat with that game.
I
She would have
forgot
beat
about
anybody.
that. I forgot that you guys
Yeah.
played each other on the feature table too,
Yeah.
because I was doing back end work on the other tables. So I actually didn't get to see your match with
Yeah.
her, but I heard she played exceptional. And really, you can't do anything but nod when someone does
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You
I
know?
know. It's just one of those matches, and you just
We were,
sit there.
Yeah.
Here, she's got a little tricky six ball, but nothing. She managed well,
she hit it very
perfectly
well.
in line.
I love this about Pia. She's very diligent. She is not a lazy pool player. She puts all the work in. Just says a lot about work plus effort, right?
Yeah, I mean,
She comes to the table
she's got
prepared.
a lot of that good influence has rubbed off of Joshua Filler, I'm sure, and what a power couple in the industry.
Absolutely. Josh has been to a few of the WPBA events with Pia. He's not here at this event, but he has been to quite a few of them with her over the last year.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm assuming he's in UK now. There's a UK Open matchroom event, so
Oh,
yeah, I would be surprised if
Oh,
he wasn't
yeah.
there. So I'm not going there because I'm actually representing Town, and we have a booth at the Great Billiard Expo in China. So I'm traveling there next Wednesday. So the dates unfortunately collided. Otherwise, I would have been going to the UK Open.
so it looks as though they haven't updated the brackets for the live scoring for the other matches that are going on around the room. We do have some great matches happening throughout the room. Janet Outwell is competing against our world number one and WPBA number one, Christina Tpke, at the moment.
Yeah, and the winner of that match will play the winner of this match.
Yeah, and so we don't know what the score line is for that match, but we also have Sophia Mass playing Gwen Drum, and I'm trying to zoom this up so I can see. Getting older is brutal, Mika. They keep making print smaller and smaller. And then Margarita Fefilova-Steyer is competing against Wei Su Chen at the moment. So lots of good matches happening throughout the room. Trying to kind of adjust some of the
Yeah.
coloring in the background of this. My camera decided it wanted to be dark. I don't know
Yeah.
why that is.
And on the winner's side, you will be waiting for other matches, such as Savannah Easton against Min Hung. And another winner's side match is You want to try to pronounce that?
Che Yu Chao or
Che Yu
Cho,
Chao
and
and Shu
it's
Ching Chang.
Shu Ching Chung. Yes,
And those are both from,
we call her Pearl.
what is politically, are we saying Taiwan or like the Republic of China? What's the Chinese Taipei?
Yes, Taiwanese.
Yeah, I think Chinese Taipei is the one that
Technical.
like the Chinese would prefer.
All right.
Now, does Allison have room here?
I'm
Looks like
about
the
to
nine's
see.
kind of
Let's see if we
blocking the
can
view.
get-
Yeah, she might. She's definitely gonna have to play safe. She could put enough spin to get the cue ball behind the four. I'm not sure. She's going the other way. That was a brilliant execution there.
Wow.
That was a really amazing shot. Not shocking from Allison. She's got really her like cue ball and like safety strategy in general is pretty on point. Looking at the
Nice.
2-rail escape.
Nice look at it from there.
Yeah, she's trying to create distance, and she hit the wrong side, and then looped the 4-ball in the side, but no, she's nothing easy here, but she's get another free shot. And she's got the momentum on her side, so she might as well go for this. Automatic position on the 5.
All right. Well, 9 ball.
Unless.
Oh.
Looks like it just nudged it again to avoid being hooked. But yeah, she's got a shot now, so.
Yeah, that look almost made it look as though she didn't have a shot on the 5.
Yeah.
But just so everyone at home knows, we are using the Aramith Black series of balls. So you're going to have the pink 4 and the purple 5.
She landed a little short on the 6. So a little bit of maneuvering. Would be nice to get back to that position.
So just have to be mindful of coming underneath the 8.
Yeah,
basically.
maybe she could play like a stun draw and go hit the short rail first with the right spin, because if she goes 2 rails, you know, maybe you have to go 2 rails. You have to put reverse spin. So I don't like that from this. It's too thick.
That makes the 8 ball bigger, right?
Unless she could go 2 rails and there's no scratch because the 9's there, and then you come all the way around. But maybe she's putting inside English in this. Oh, she's just leaving herself distance. I'm not a fan of that shot.
That just got real tough.
Yeah, this is tricky.
Just got to put a good stroke on this.
Yeah, top spin.
Oh, yeah. And really all of that stems from the poor positional shot from the 6, right? Like,
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like when one bad thing happens, it just keeps happening in the rack. You know, you're like always on a line fighting to get back into line.
Yeah, I'm surprised she opted to leave herself distance, and then even the 8 ball was hindering that shot a little bit, where she wasn't, you know, comfortable, perhaps. But
All right, so it looks as though we're going to chat a little bit about Allison Fischer now that she's at the table, the Duchess of Doom. Her first WPBA event was in 1995. She's currently ranked number 8 on the tour. Her highest ranking as high as number 1, obviously. She is a Mezz sponsored player, as well as Fort Worth Billiards, Brunswick Pool Tables, Jam Up Apparel, Break Type Billiards, and Sports Bar in the Kamui brand. If you guys want to know anything else about Allison Fischer, you can go to AllisonFischer.com. She has 80 professional titles, including 4 World Championships, a World Games gold medal, 8 national, and 8 U.S. Open titles. So she is no slouch. If you are not familiar, you probably ought to Google her because
Yeah.
you should be.
I mean, that's probably the most, she's probably she's probably the most successful WPBA player.
Ever.
I
Pretty
would say
close.
ever. I would say
Yeah.
ever.
Well, 80 professional titles says it all by itself, I feel as
Yeah.
though. So Allison has snuck away with that rack there by an unfortunate miss on the 7 ball from Pia Filler. The score is currently 2-1 in favor of the killer. And let's talk a little bit about the sponsors of this event. So this is our second year here at Raxx Pool Room Bar and Grill. Thank you to Olhausen and Mezz Cues, as well as Tsunami Shafts, RJH Custom Cues, and of course Raxx. This is a WPA World Ranking event. And as well as all the sponsors from the tour here this year at the WPBA, Kamui Diamond Billiard Products, Aramith Simonis, The Perfect Rack, Classic Billiards is our newest sponsor, Big Family Custom Creations for all your apparel, Castillo Leather Goods, Howe Flash Carbon Fiber Shafts, Professional Howe Tips, and the ICA Training Tool. Check it out at icatraining.com. Looks as though Allison Fischer to break. Oh, no,
it's
she's
Pia.
just checking.
No, yeah, she's checking.
Yeah, so we're allowed to do that. We can't touch it.
Okay.
If we need an adjustment, we can ask our opponent to adjust.
Yeah.
I
think that's fair for, when opponents are racking, because
Yeah. So I'm not really sure how the opponent racking thing came up because this is our first event doing that. But I feel there's a backstory. I'm just not sure of what it is.
yeah, I could think of some reasons, but I'm not gonna get into it now.
Well, I don't even know him, so I don't even know how it came about. But here we are.
Yeah, there's ways to manipulate the rack, even though it's a template. So, just saying.
All right. So she did make the one in the side here.
Yeah, she's hooked. She doesn't have a shot on the 2, and probably looking at a push. And where she's standing, she's looking at is that a tough enough shot from there if she pushes the cue ball all the way to the corner there, or is there something else? Oh, she's pushing to a jump shot. She's gonna test Allison's ability to jump.
Her
But
air drive 3
Yeah,
is what
now-
she's trying to test.
for right-handed, I mean, you kind of like really just have to like get on the table, but I feel like this is a jump that you should take on, like, because it's just the position's automatic. It's straight in. The distance is where you can kind of hop right into the, onto the 2 without losing control of the, but if she's not comfortable jumping, then I don't blame her. But like, sometimes you have to weigh the skill of your opponent against your skill. So like, if I'm thinking like Pia is really good at this shot, so even if you're not comfortable, the problem is the reach. See, there's the
Yeah.
reach, and maybe that's why it puts her at disadvantage. It's just a very uncomfortable position, so that takes some of the edge away.
Well,
And
she got over
that
it.
was
but-
that was the right call from Allison. But Pia, I feel she pushed the cue ball a little bit, a couple of inches too far. I don't think she was trying to put it that close to the 6, where she had to like get into that weird, awkward, not quite contortionist position, but it's just like there's tension on the body, and the longer you're like aiming, the more uncomfortable it gets.
Yeah, she was definitely tweaked up there. You could see her kick her leg out, trying to kind
Yeah.
of shift her body some.
I see Allison playing safe here. Get behind the 9. Oh, there's a pocket there.
Oh.
My bad. I thought the 5 was in the way, but that was good. That was great. She hit it the right speed, and even though it brushed the long rail, it was just good pocket speed. Touch of inside. And this should be pretty standard here. Everything, there's no problems. Connect the dots.
Looks as though she played that with just a tad of inside English.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the cloth, if it's like still sliding, it might still kind of have a little bit of top where it like hooks after the rail. So, but she's perfectly in line here. Just maybe draw back just a touch to get closer to the 6, and then another draw. So, a couple of straight in shots. She's got a little angle here, maybe, but. There's a touch of an angle where now, do you like power draw it past the 7 and come back up? Or you play it super smooth?
Slide it over,
She had
yeah.
enough angle to like play the tangent line there. Yeah, that's good. It's hard to see from this position, but yeah. Smooth sailing.
Yeah, not a whole lot of work here. Just kind of try to stay inside the line of the next shot.
Yeah.
Nicely done by the Duchess.
Yeah, she's gonna go forward here.
So when do you leave for China, Mika?
I will be traveling on Wednesday, the 7th, and
With all of,
takes a day to get there.
I was gonna say, with all of the stuff that you have going on, does the travel affect you much, or do you have to make sure that you get your proper rest?
Yeah, yeah, for those who don't know, I'm still going through cancer, and I fortunately my company is paying for the business class tickets, so I can
Can be
get some good
comfortable.
rest.
Yeah. Jet lag is
I
still
mean, that
jet
was
lag,
that was
right?
the prerequisite. I wasn't gonna travel there if I had to go economy class.
Well, and how
Uh,
long is the flight to China? It's quite a long flight,
It's
isn't it?
yeah, I'm connecting in Hong Kong, and that flight is, I think, it's about 15, 16 hours.
Ooh,
So
I
very
don't
very
know.
fortunate to have the flatbed option there.
Yeah, that's just such a tough
And I
travel.
obviously did have to check with my doctors if, you know, if this is okay, and I had to reschedule some things. I had to reschedule my scans, and then I'm gonna have my scans after the trip. So fingers crossed for
Well, we
that one.
wish you the best. You know, everybody in the pool world's always kind of keeping track of what you're up to and making sure you're still fighting. So
Yeah,
we love that fighting spirit about you, and so I think it's worked itself out nicely for you in your situation.
yeah.
If you didn't have that mentality, who knows?
I'm trying to do best I can, and a number of things, not just what the, you know, just not just waiting for another treatment. I'm doing things in between that are gonna boost my immunity, and such as like working out, and
Your eating habits,
I've been
right?
juicing lately. I've been, you know, all this green juice, like, you know, celery, cucumber, spinach. Today I made one with all those, and ginger. Did I say ginger already?
Mm-mm. Nope.
And what else did I put there?
All the goods.
All the good
Use
stuff.
all the
It's like
goods.
good to keep the body, the nutrients going, keep the body alkalized, and I'm also taking some Chinese herbs that are specialized for my situation, oncology, and it's from a Chinese medicine specialist who is also an MD, so he knows Western and Eastern. So
Oh, nice.
I'm trying my best to you know, optimize whatever I can.
Yeah, I mean, and allow as much natural products in your body as
Yeah.
possible, right? Because you're already dealing with some chemicals
Yeah.
too.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
It's some of it's just to counter the effects
yeah,
of the chemo because it's really quite toxic and it takes a big toll
it
on
is.
the body. But it's at this point it's still necessary and yeah.
I do a little bit. I know a little bit about. I don't juice, but I do smoothies, and I love all the benefits from using the natural
Yeah.
products. Like people don't realize how important it really
Yeah.
is.
I also do like protein smoothies sometimes
Yep.
because I'm working out and try to keep the muscle mass,
Yeah.
or build even because
Yeah.
I'm still a little, skinny for my normal weight, so
Yeah,
I
but in
need to
all
gain.
fairness, you've never been a big person.
Yeah, 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 no, no, never,
Like,
no. I like to, hey, the benefits of I have a six pack, I'd like to
yeah,
keep it.
right, there you go. And we fully expect that you will. So,
So look at there, Allison's. She was. I'm not sure if she was really going for the bank. I mean, because the cue ball was going a little bit haywire. She's got a piece of the two here, but it's not like, leading to anything great unless she does what Allison does, something really super cool and creative. I'm wondering if she could just feather the two and just leave distance, kind of leave the two in that general area.
just take the cue ball 2 rails down table.
Yeah, it's just tricky because if you catch it fuller, then you're like selling out. Oh, she's
Mm,
putting the two ball on the back rail, which is not a bad
interesting.
idea. Yeah,
Well played.
well played. This is not like a dead-on like aggressive option here. I see Pia playing safe. And
So,
the three is in a tricky position too. So
maybe try to come 2 rails and
um,
catch a gap between the 3-9.
right. I mean, if the three goes, I guess you could try to go for the two,
Yep.
which she did. And
Wow.
then,
Great shot.
oh, that was a great shot. She's really she's feeling it.
So these ladies are on a mandatory 40-second shot clock with 1 extension per rack. They do get 60 seconds after the
Yeah,
break.
I saw that. She had a little pep in her step there.
Run in for her predator extension.
That is a very long extension. And you got to watch out when you're using extension and using spin because it adds weight to the cue and it might add deflection. In this case, she was so close and comfortable, so it didn't not really matter that much. But like sometimes you forget that there's different weight, and it just adds the mass, just brings a bit different element to
That's a
the
good point.
deflection.
Very good point. I think too, a lot of people don't realize that, like Fedor, when he plays, he'll keep, a couple extensions in his pocket and he'll just change them out. And I know it's because of all his time spent
On the
working with
go, yeah,
while he's in the middle of a game, he'll
yeah,
just take one off, stick one
yeah,
on, and change it based on the stroke that he
right,
needs or the positional play that he needs.
yeah.
And so it's pretty impressive. Um,
It's good to be cognizant of the situation and when
yeah.
you need to do that because I've seen players take the extension off when they're playing a jacked up shot or another good example, like when you have to masse the ball, you definitely want to take the extension off because otherwise, if you have too much weight, it's going to push the cue ball too far before the spin takes place. So like if you need a quick masse, you need a lighter cue.
Absolutely. Right, so a little draw back down for the 7 in the top left.
Yeah, she can either play it like soft. And there
Don't want
she
to come
goes.
under it though.
Yeah, looks like she went a little far, but I don't think presents too much problems. Maybe a little inside English and just accept the angle on the 8, go towards the 9, but not on the 9. And that's pretty nice.
Does she need her extension again? Or she's just going to grab the bridge this
She's
time.
yeah. She's comfortable with the bridge in this case. It's just the roll. You just roll in the ball.
All
She
right.
played it a little hard.
I travel a little
More
further.
more distance than you really want it, but
I mean, I definitely favor her to still make this 9, but she
it
did
could
hit
be
that with
one.
a
It
little
could
more
be 1 out
pace.
of 100 that you
Yeah,
know
it could
that
be.
1% depends on how her mental state and everything. But she seems to be in a good flow here. And
Ooh,
just as I said, the commentator's curse.
that's not real, Mika. It's not
I'm
real.
sorry, I'm not laughing at the shot. It's just like as soon as I said it.
Yeah, and then you put it in the
But
universe.
it is like, she didn't have to hit the 8 ball that hard,
She didn't.
and
I
it
think she
ran
caught
away
it a
from
little
her.
thinner than she meant to,
That too,
right?
that too, and then get a little more bounce. And
Mhm.
now Allison's got a shot to punish her from that mistake. And look at that back arm of Allison. It's just perfectly aligned directly to her, the middle of her
Skull.
skull. It's just, yeah, nose
Middle
or
of her
whatever.
skull.
It is just that,
Yeah, it's
with her
absolutely.
with her snooker experience, those shots are just like, I'm not betting against her.
All right, so guys, we're going to take just a quick second and throw a commercial for one of our sponsors here at the Olhausen Raxx Mezz Invitational. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mika will be back in just a second. He took a quick restroom break. It's pretty awesome to have Mika Immonen in the booth with us, the Iceman. I'd like to touch base with him, being that Mezz is a big headlining sponsor here. It's no one better than Mika Immonen himself to come and do a little commentary for this fantastic matchup between Pia Filler and Allison Fischer. Score is currently 3-2 in favor of the Duchess of Doom. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name's Lonnie Fox Raymond, and you are watching WPBA Billiards on YouTube. Pia Filler to break. All right, so Pia does make a ball on the break. Comes to the table with a really nice starting shot on the 1. 2 sitting in front of the pocket. A little pinch draw stroke just to stay in the center of the table. I don't see too much in this rack that's going to cause much problems for Pia, but so far we've been a little bit back and forth in the matchup.
All right.
All right, there you go.
We're back in action. Did Allison break dry? Or
No,
what happened?
Pia broke this rack.
Pia broke this rack,
Yep.
so she breaks at odds, and
She made a good shot on the 1. She had a great starting shot on the 1. The 1 big past this side. And
she's a little straight on this one. She's not happy. You can see her looking into a distant somewhere, and well, she's gonna have to like put some power on this shot. Maybe draw with the reverse. It's like right spin with draw, or play some kind of stun shot. I mean, I like the draw,
so it just
but really just you really have to hit this very good because there's gonna be speed on the ball, and there was no reverse on that one. This is tricky.
Oh,
Like she needed a little bit of right spin so that the cue ball approaches the six. And I'm saying, you know what? Maybe she caught it a little full because I felt like there was a touch of an angle that which and she wouldn't be in that cluster. She hit it like in the center of the pocket. So this is a real tester. Maybe the toughest shot she's had in the match so far. And it's kind of a do or die,
yeah.
really.
Yeah, I mean, Allie's already been able to take advantage of a 9-ball miss by Pia. So she's had a few things that she's basically, in my opinion, given back to Allie.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to continue to do that. Allison is not the right person to give things to.
And I'm not sure if that really works in her favor either.
It's just so awkward.
This is a tricky situation as well, but I'm sure Allison's pretty happy to be at the table. The positions, it's funny, there's a lot. I mean, to try to smooth it and play with the outside draw and go like towards the 7-ball, 2 rails. You definitely want to go for this shot.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, right, playing at 2 rails allows you to not decelerate in your stroke at all.
Yeah. She might play hard and just go use back rail and just going behind the balls. I really like that shot. She's going close to her work. And even though, I mean, this is not an ideal, but she's really, you can go either left or right corner here. The position's easier if you play the 7 in where the corner left as we're
bottom
looking.
left?
Yeah, just soft in the bottom left. And you can even, I like that better because the 7 goes kind of slowly into the pocket. You play natural pocket speed. You have to hit it soft, and then you can even brush that long rail a little bit. So rather overcut it than undercut it.
As you said.
That's brilliantly executed.
Yeah, and she didn't have to play it with a lot of pace.
Exactly. That's the best part about that shot. It makes the pocket bigger. But she did nail it in the center of the pocket.
She like hit it smoothly. It went straight in. Didn't touch anything on the way.
Yeah.
All right, so pocket this 8 and play the 9 in the same pocket.
Yeah, she's been able to capitalize on at least 2 of the mistakes that Pia made on. They were positional errors that resulted in, one of them was a miss, and then safety. She left Allison a long shot. I mean, that wasn't no gimme. The 6-ball.
No, she absolutely wasn't, and Allison played it beautifully. So looks like Pia is going to take a quick player break. Guys, we're also going to take a quick break, so stay tuned. We got more action coming for you on the WPBA Billiards on YouTube.
Hi, it's Chanel Rain, and you're watching the WPBA on YouTube.
All right, guys.
Okay,
We're back at it.
back at it, and scores 4-2 Allison, and Allison won the lag, so this puts Allison in a very good position in a long run, because not only if it goes hill Allison's breaking, but she's really if she can hold her serve, she just wins the match. That's case in point. And
She actually just walked behind us. She was running behind, getting back to the table. Allison
Yeah.
was.
well,
She knows we're talking about her, Mika.
Pia's still working on the rack.
That's okay. That's
Sure.
okay.
I don't know if Allison's gonna check the rack. If she
Sometimes they do. Real quick before they
Yeah.
start this break, let's look at some of the other scores that are going on around the room. So Christina Tpke and Janet Atwell. Janet Atwell is currently up 4-2 over the world number one.
yeah,
Wen
that would be a
Trauma is
that would
up,
be a big upset.
yeah, huge, 5-2 over Sophia Mast. And then Wei Su Chen is up 4-2 over Margarita Fefilova-Steyer. So some crazy good matches going on around the room. Maybe a few upsets in the work.
Yeah, who knows? I feel like this particular match we're watching now is it's a pretty even match if you look at like how Pia has been playing lately,
Mm-hmm.
and but of course Allison's experience, you can never count her out.
No, never. And as a matter of fact, like I wasn't. I'm. We were watching the Rita Cho Ali match, and she fought back so hard.
Yeah.
She was down. She had a much bigger deficit, and boy, Allison, you just never can count her out.
Yeah,
She was on her way to making that a hill thriller.
right. I'm sure she's got a good safety in mind here. Maybe like double bank the one, cross, and then she had a chance to like maybe it was a free shot to maybe make it, but she's going towards the cluster there. It's a pretty good safety, but I feel like Pia can definitely create a lot of distance here. Maybe naturally she has to pull a little outside left on this shot, maybe go towards the corner. 3 rails, and oh, she's playing a slow roll. I'm not sure what happened there. Just
I don't think
I'm
she
not
knows
sure.
what happened there.
I really don't know. I might have been a miscue, because there's no way. I mean, that makes no sense.
No, it might.
She
may
did
have
roll her eyes.
miscues, yeah.
I think, I mean, I'm guessing it was a miscue. Now can Allison capitalize on this situation?
I was going to say that I was a little concerned about the side pocket on that shot with a follow stroke,
Right.
but it worked out. Ali has missed the one and left Pia in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah.
Everything is open, so
It kind of like it's when it rains, it pours. Things are
yes.
kind of going against Pia right now, and Allison's got the momentum.
Well, in a race to 8, we are likely to see quite a few momentum shifts. So no one's to say that this match is
Yeah.
anywhere near over. So.
Oh, that was a good hit on the one to get separation, and could have been easily hooked, but she hit the 2. But this is still nothing easy here. I'm not even sure if I would go for this shot. There's no positional value. Maybe you can. One shot here I like is like just make the 1 and maybe you can kick the 2 and kick the 2 for safety.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you got those 3 balls as blockers there for the next shot. If you hit the kick decent, you're
Or just do
unless
that.
you're Allison, and then you can do this, and then now you can really lock behind the 3, I guess. That was a beautiful shot.
She hit it so good.
I'm not sure if she could. felt like she just nudged the cue ball behind the three and just lock it up. I mean, can we see the other angle?
Sure.
See, like she could just totally just bury her behind the three with very little effort. Just a little outside English, but she's looking at something else. I don't know.
Maybe she's gonna make the two and maybe potentially play a safety on the three.
Does the two go?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it went. I know.
She missed. I think she
I'll
intended
be
to hit
damned.
the nine.
I didn't. See, I really thought there's no chance she could make the two. Anyway, I'm thinking my shot might have not been a bad option.
Right.
You know.
I mean, what do you know, Mika?
Hey, 2020 hindsight. Just,
What do you know? But then again, it is kind of funny. I was giggling a little because we watched Allison's last couple of shots in her match against Rita Chow. And when she got done and she realized Mika was here, she came over, gave him a hug. And then she's like, "What would you have done there, Mika?"
yeah.
And he's like, "Well, it was a tough position."
I did tell her, like, you know, hey, bank 3 rails on the side. I'm like,
Yeah,
next time.
next time she's going to use that shot. All right, so I mean, it seems as though she can see.
You know, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, she's fully
No,
hooked.
she
She's
is
fully
hooked.
hooked. I thought she could maybe
From the
see
overhead,
edge.
it looked like it, though,
Yeah,
for sure.
again, yeah.
All right, nice kick.
That's a
Gonna
nice
work
kick.
out
That's
real
beautiful.
well.
That's really
Oh, boy.
like triple hooked. No easy escape here. Even the 5 balls blocking the real simple escape. She might have to do some real trickery here. I mean, this is a very, very difficult position to be in. I'm thinking like maybe she could jump over the edge of the 6 and kick 2 rails, but here she has to put like crazy amount of spin, and it's so difficult to judge because it depends on the number of things: the speed of the cue ball, how much the spin grabs off the rail, depends on the edge of the cloth, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, it's just so tough to judge the way you hit that ball. And now it looks like as though Allison has a good chance to go up 5-2. Everything's out in the open.
Look there. So I'm not gonna Don Lee. I'm not sure I'm saying your name right, but just so you know, so when Vic approached us, and we asked her how to pronounce her name, she actually said it to us. So we're pronouncing it the way she asked us to pronounce it. I'm not sure about the bike thing, but that's what she asked.
All right, here just top spin, leave a little angle on the 5, and then I'm assuming the 6 goes in the same corner as the 8, so she could just stun around the angles. I like putting stun with a little bit of left spin here. Again, it depends if the 6 is completely clear in the corner, and looks like it is.
Looks as though she may be taking your advice on this, Mika.
No, she's coming straight up.
She's coming straight.
That's fine.
Oh.
It's good speed control.
Now, do you prefer when you're in a position like that where you can shoot this 6 clean to the top right, shooting it past the 8 makes it, what if you bump the 8, right?
Yeah.
Like so many things can happen.
You know, it's just like the last shot, Allison's shot. You just have to have a really good feel for the table and the speed, which she apparently does.
Yeah.
I like kind of like stunning around the corner because just your approach is always you're going towards the 6 instead of like possibly crossing the line of the approach. So if she overruns, it could be tricky. But she's under control here and taking a commanding lead.
Yeah. I
on
was
a
going to
race to
say,
8.
she's getting a little pep in her step as she moves around the table here. All right. 5-2 in favor of the Duchess. over Pia Filler.
Yeah, and this break coming up now is huge. Like Pia has to take advantage of every opportunity, and she has to hope that Allison makes some mistakes at this point.
Yeah, and Pia needs to make a ball on the break, step
Tricky
one.
part about
Yeah.
alternating breaks when you're trailing.
And 9 on the spot for these girls. This is our first event this way. Now Pia's a little more versed in it, I think,
Yeah.
probably from doing all of the men's events.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much Allison has had time to work on the 9 on the spot break, but she seems to have been pretty successful this event so far. So other
Yeah.
matches going on around the room. Looks like Tpke's tied it up with Janet Atwell, and Big Drum has taken a very commanding lead over Sophia Mass, 6-3. Wei Su Chen is currently up 5-3 over Margarita Fefilova-Steyer. The crazy part is that there are 17 different countries being represented in this event.
Oh, that's amazing. Considering the number of participants, how many?
64.
All right.
So it's
17.
pretty impressive, right? To have
That's
17
very, very
different
nice.
countries represented. It's absolutely amazing. The international girls came out to play in this event. That says a lot about Caroline and the promoters, as well as the work that the board of the WPBA is putting in at this moment. Every event is getting bigger and better, and most of them are now world ranking events. So we're going to see a lot more of the international ladies coming into play. Be a big change in our rankings along the way.
All right. What are we looking at here? A successful break, but like she's hooked on a 2, and then it's too far to jump, and it's not really. There's no rail first. I mean, can she masse the ball and maintain control? No, it's really tricky.
Yeah. She's kind of shaking her head, laughing a little bit because she's
It's
like,
the
"Can I
things
get
that
a
are
break?"
going.
You know?
Yeah, things they're going against.
Feels like
Granted,
nothing
like
is
you know
working for her.
the first couple of mistakes were unforced, and then the pool gods like
Take over.
say they're
They
like
punish
let's
you.
punish you.
Yeah.
Let's punish you a little extra.
Yeah. I feel that in my soul, to be honest with you.
It's just weird how it goes.
It's like you already know that you've made the mistakes, right? And then why did the pool gods just continue to punish you? You're like, ugh, why?
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. But the way that you handle that and maintain your composure is, in my opinion, the difference between a professional and an amateur.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to keep fighting and hope for, things to make a turnaround. It's still kind of early enough in this match, and although Allison's getting closer to the end.
Well, this is a huge rack.
Yeah.
This
huge.
rack. So Pia's gonna put distance on the balls in this push, and yeah, I mean making the 2 is easy. Getting position on the 4 is not.
Right, and that's what she's banking on, right?
Right. If you can feather this with like some inside English, but again from this distance, when you're putting inside, how much it's gonna curve. There's a lot of things that could go wrong, but I think Allison's definitely taken this shot on, because even if you don't get position, there's a lot of good safeties that you can do with the 4. So
you just got to start by making the 2 and then make some decisions.
Take this and go into the 9-7.
Initially, that's what I thought as well.
She did. I thought she might even like stroke it a little bit more to hit like the other ball first. But this is still a good position to be in, because I feel like Allison's gonna play safe, and I see the safety I might play here is just to get the cue ball behind the 9 and just bank the 4 ball 2 rails towards the middle of the other rail. So
the Duchess is one of the best with a bridge. So if you're her opponent and she gets it out,
she might feather the left side now.
Oh, there you go.
She put the bridge away, and then maybe she's gonna go all the way down behind the 6 ball and catch this real thin. Okay, well, still, there's a
Difficult,
little bit
but
of a blocker, but it's not exactly where she wanted it.
now Pia has the opportunity to pretty much do kind of the same thing, but get it under the 6, correct?
Yeah, either that, or if she can hit it full enough, maybe play the 4 ball like back and forth and just. It's just there's a lot of things go wrong here, and
Oh, that's one of
that's
them.
why that was just tricky.
Well, you knew that if you're crossing over the pink 4, you're definitely putting it towards that right long rail.
Right.
So you have to be really careful
Yeah,
with the
she
cue
was trying
ball.
to get the 4 and having the 9 as a blocker, but then I feel like she did catch it a little bit full, which created more speed on the 4 and a different angle than what was desired. And Allison's taking advantage of these situations here. To her credit, Allison's made a lot of tough shots.
She has.
Like that first 9 after Pia missed wasn't those long distance, and then that 6
that
ball
6
to
ball, a
go
couple
around the
racks
balls
ago.
and
Yep.
a beautiful 7.
Yeah, she's definitely she's playing high level pool and taking advantage of all the opportunities, and staying focused enough to, just really work through the tougher shots.
Yeah, even that was, she had to put some speed on that, and now she's back in line. Perfect angle on the 6. She can stun this with a little bit of left spin. Come back towards the middle of the table. She could leave even a little bit more angle is okay. But definitely got a little stun on this one.
Great shot, sitting with nice angle on the 7 to get back to the center of the table for the 8. I feel like there's cameras everywhere.
I know.
Our media team's been working really hard though, so
yeah, you guys have a really nice setup here.
we're getting there.
Seems like pretty decent crowd here.
Well, that says a lot about the work from
Raxx
Caroline as well.
True. And Raxx is always a nice destination. They just treat players so well here, and customers and great food. Holden's a good guy.
He is.
I mean,
He's
he did an amazing transition here with all the lighting and tables, diamond tables and these lights. It's just a beautiful setup.
And once again, I'm going to mention the food.
Yeah.
The food is amazing.
I love the food here. Tacos. They have a special tonight. I think it's I'm not sure if they had it yesterday, but it's salmon with asparagus and rice. I mean,
Yes.
I might have to take advantage of that later.
There you go. All right. So Allison Fischer, I believe that puts her on the hill, does it not? Was that Raxx?
No, it's
Okay, fixed.
6-2,
Okay.
6-2.
So she has already updated her
Yeah,
score.
she's breaking at evens. But puts her in a very good position to get on the hill. Something about Allison's mental game to be able to bounce back from a tough loss and then just come back here and swinging.
Against a very tough competitor.
Yes.
Although Pia, in my opinion, has not played up to par in this match, she's still nonetheless a very tough competitor and very capable.
Yeah, and this is not good news for Pia either, because now Allison's in prime position to run out. If there's a little bit of an angle on the 1, she can easily. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. It's a little straighter than but still, Allison hasn't uncanny ability to make these long, tough shots. So who knows if she can create a little spin here and cheat the pocket, which she
She
did.
has.
Allison does what Allison does.
Yes, she does. Uh, well, and I feel as though Allison has this amazing ability to really know uh, the moment in her matches. That's exactly why she has over 80 professional titles.
Yeah.
She knows when the moment is there and when to seize it, when to dig her heels in a little bit, and she's very, very successful at it.
Yep.
No matter who she's playing, it doesn't matter who she's playing. I watched her play.
She has this. She really doesn't need to change her game. She just plays her thing and her pace, and
She knows when to slow a match down. She knows when, you know what I mean? She's just very, very in tune.
yeah,
And that's why she's so great. But I think there's a lot of players right now that are out there that are really starting to, they've probably been watching Allison Fischer tapes,
yeah,
you know, before they come here and you know, try to emulate as much of the Duchess as they possibly can. I know that when you ask any of these top stars in the moment in our game, Margarita, Christina, Christina Zlayteva, they'll tell you who influenced them, and most
Yeah.
of them say Allison.
yeah.
you know?
I mean,
She's just
I
amazing.
have to admit that I've watched her stroke, and it's just like even I, like, you know, if you emulate her pace and the amount of strokes that she takes is like, it's pretty ideal.
Yeah. She's just, she's amazing. That's why they say, or a lot of people say, that she is the greatest women player of all time. And I can't say that that's not true, but I can say that she's still trying to take wins and take games and take heads, you
She's
know?
still here. She loves the game.
Yeah, she's still
And
competitive.
she won a major recently.
She has. She said to, after she won at ICB
And
last
with
year.
with the Mezz Q, which I'm proud to say that, you know, I was like, hey, you know, it just takes a little time sometimes to make the adjustment from one Q to the other, but she's actually like, it was quick for her.
She's won a major event every year for 5 decades, I think she told me. It's pretty impressive. I'm not going to go into detail about her age
All right.
exactly, but
Yeah, that's something to yeah. I haven't
pretty
won a major
impressive.
this decade. I need to win a major this decade.
Mika, she's running through you, buddy. You better get to
Yeah,
work.
I gotta get to work here.
All right, so Allison Fischer on the
But
hill,
hey,
ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
not done yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she is on the hill.
Yeah, that was a break and
7-2
run.
over Pia Filler, doing what Allison Fischer does best. Here's some looks at what's going on around the room. Janet Outwell is currently up over the world number 1, Christina Tpke, 5-4. Big Drum is up 7-4 over Sophia Max, the junior world champion. And Wei Su Chen is up 6-3 over Margarita Fefilova-Steyer. So some great matches going on around the room. And I believe all of those matches are B-side matches.
It's
Says a lot about our tournament when
Right.
there's that
Nice to
tough of a
see,
B-side.
nice to see a Vietnamese player on the ladies' side.
Yep.
They've taken the men's side by the storm.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of really good men's players. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce their names, but the Martian, like
The Martian.
Doc something.
That Hung. Is it
Yeah,
Hung?
yeah. Good, nice, solid, super nice player.
Yeah.
Great under pressure. But there's a lot of good Vietnamese players coming out, and it's due to this exploding popularity of the game in the country. The pool rooms popping out left and right. I heard some crazy statistic not too long ago that there's a new pool room coming out every second day.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, it's good. It's good for business.
Yeah, right. I would say yes. You're sitting in a good
But
position
you'll see,
with
we'll
that,
see a
Mika.
lot of competitive guys coming out of there. soon. I mean, China's been on the map for a long time, but I think Vietnam is going to be the next superpower to in pool. You know, they're going to be very competitive. Not saying they're going to be leading the game, but we already see a lot of guys that are on a very high level. So
Yeah. Well, and I think a couple years ago, the Philippines started making a really big push, even though we'd
yeah,
already seen Efren and
yeah.
Francisco, and I mean, we'd already seen quite a bit of that, but
Philippines has always been there,
yeah. But
and then
now
now
they're
we see a
showing their
new
face.
breed of like young players like Johan Chua.
Yep.
You know, he's really been on fire lately, and I gotta tell you a
James
little
Aranis, he
funny
was
story
another
about
one.
James. Yep. Ignacio.
Yep.
But like little tidbit here. I played Johan Chua a few years ago, and I think he beat me hill, and I was like, oh man, well, you know what? Yeah, okay, well, it is what it is. And it's like, then he's like, he comforted me, saying that, listen, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, because after I watched you win the World Championship 2001, for the first time I went to play pool next day. So
Oh,
he was.
wow, that's a nice feeling when someone says something that you inspired them.
I inspired him to play, and then I was, you know what? Okay, I'll take that.
All right, I guess it's fine. You
It
won.
really, yeah, it really warmed my heart, and
Oh, well, there you go.
I
That's
even
the way
got,
to
I got a
Mika's
little
heart.
emotional, you know, just I got a little emotional.
Well, I'm sure there's thousands
And
of
he's
pool players
a
out
very
there,
nice
Mika.
guy too. So you know, if anybody, I wish him all the best.
Yeah. So it looks like Pia is making a solid push at this table. She did break and make a ball. She's
Yeah,
back at it.
yeah,
She's letting the timekeeper know that she's waiting for Christina at the
right.
table in front of her.
Fair.
So Christina's going to go ahead and let Pia take the shot.
Yeah,
She's aware. I mean, the feature table, these girls know that they're on a time clock.
yeah.
So,
Christina gave her some courtesy there, and this should be a break and run here. It just she has to settle for the 7 in the side pocket. I'm assuming that it's like I thought she was gonna get a little better on the 6, and so she doesn't have to flirt with the 8 ball. So she has to be really careful here, and you know that's not good.
the cue landed on the
Because
rail.
now she's on the rail. She's going into the 9. She may have to leave a long shot, and she doesn't want to brush the 9 because then she could be hooked. That's a pretty good shot from there. Again, nothing's like given here. Maybe slow roll this one. Little outside spin, that was very nicely done. She made quick work of this rack. Trying to establish a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're gonna go out, you might as well go out swinging.
Yeah.
Maybe she can get something rolling. Maybe the energy
Yeah,
will shift
what we
in the
need,
match.
you know, she's gonna need
So
some miracles here because she needs mistakes from Allison to have a chance. It's Allison's break.
So it looks as though we heard some crowd cheers around the room. Looks as though Gwen Drum has defeated Sophia Mast in a score of 8-4. So congratulations to her. The Vietnamese player will be advancing forward. I think to date, this is going to be one of her better finishes here on the WPBA.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Vietnamese players, right?
Yes, exactly.
Sophia's had a wonderful tournament, although I'm sure these last 2 matches today, she doesn't feel as though she's playing her best after a wonderful day yesterday and defeating the world number 1. It's really tough. I always say this, and I don't know if you would agree with me on this, but the toughest match is the match after a really good one.
All right. Well,
You know, and she had a wonderful match late last night, defeating Christina Tpke
Right.
to come in today you know, and maybe it's so hard to just find that same energy, right? So congratulations to Sophia. Still a wonderful tournament for
Yeah,
her.
you have to like when you've done something really good, you have to come back from that cloud
Yeah.
and then just really
Put your feet back on the
steady yourself.
ground.
Yeah, and well, now we've seen the first like easy shot that Allison missed the whole match. She had a chance to put Pia away here, and then this is the kind of things that need to happen for Pia to have a chance. I'm kind of shocked that she missed that. She overcut the 2-ball. And Pia has a window to play a very good safety here. There's like the 4-ball, 7-ball, 8-ball, all these blockers. You know, she can play a little top spin. Pia has to be relieved that she even got to the table. And this is very tricky. Tricky escape. I'm not sure if the kick shot's good. You might have to like go 3 rails. You'd have to like hit it hard, and it's kind of a 3-cushion shot, like meaning like. And this way, she's gonna have to spin the ball a lot, and I don't know, she's with a little masse, maybe even. If she can catch it off of the 2. Well, created distance. That was a great hit. But
Now the pressure goes back on Pia.
yeah,
Cue ball very close to this bottom short rail.
that was a pretty good kick from Allison. It's nothing easy
Wow.
positionally there, but you know, it was a great. She potted the ball clean, and now she's gonna play safe. You know, there's a lot of blockers there. You can go either way. I like just feathering the 3-ball, maybe going. There's like 5 balls you can go behind.
Well, and ultimately, like, you don't really want to play the 3 away from the 4, right? Yeah, I mean, you don't want to cause a ton of distance between the 2 balls. You want to try to
Yeah.
get a safe that allows you to
Yeah.
get ball in hand, right?
Right.
And then your work be quick and close.
Yeah.
But
And she had to be careful not to leave like a jump shot and the 3-ball by the side.
right.
But this is a pretty good safety. Cue ball's near the rail. I feel like it's still a good spot to use the jump cue and bank the 3-ball 2 rails towards the middle of the side, middle of the short rail. But if I don't know, Allison's not comfortable with the jump cue apparently. I mean,
Couple of times she could have used it and chose not to. Well, you know, you have to think about this, Mika, in some regard. Allison has been kicking at the balls for many, many years, right? And then we turn around. I don't know. The jump cue
for
was kind of a
decades,
later
yeah.
in life invention for Allie. Oh,
yeah, the middle was always there to like haunt you.
I mean, we all know Allison can jump, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I don't mean it like
Yeah.
in a bad way, right?
You know,
But
I just the jump shot was the right shot there.
yeah, all
But
right.
if she's not comfortable, it's not the right shot. You know,
Right.
Just, it's the way you gotta weigh your own skills sometimes. I might have to ask her about the jump later on. What's going on?
Oh, that does remind me. Someone said it in the chat, actually. I don't know how much you've been paying attention, but Allie has had some problems with some tremors in one of her arms. So maybe
Right.
that's why she's kind of
It could
steering away
be,
from the
yeah,
jumping.
okay. That's
I
good
forgot
to
about
know.
that.
Okay, I didn't know that, and that definitely if there's anything that's hindering her on that particular
Yes. I
skill,
actually had
it's just-
forgotten
yeah,
about that.
that explains All right, so Pia probably play a little draw here, you know, not move the cue ball too much, or the eight. So, you know, have to be careful not to block the pocket, and she's done well.
I like Pia's, I don't know the proper word, like her ability to understand ball movement on the table. She understands that a touch
Yeah,
here, a touch there could put a ball in
yeah,
play or not in play. I really like that. I think she has a really intelligent pool mind.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The dynamics.
Yeah. Hi, David. I see you in the
Yeah,
chat.
David, my buddy David. When are we getting some sushi, bro? I think
He needs
yeah,
sushi.
we were supposed to get sushi yesterday, but I was MIA. My apologies, David. Rain check.
All right, so a question in the chat on whether this is 760 or 860, Simonis. To be fair,
This
I'm
is
not sure.
I would I would bet my money on 860.
Okay. Yeah, because
760
it's
is like
new,
lightning
but
fast, you
yeah.
know.
Well, and I think with 860, right, it's a little more durable, so you can get a little longer life out of it. Is that the difference between the 760 and the
I'm
860?
not sure if that's the difference. I think just 860 is just a little bit more texture.
Okay.
760 is a little smoother, and
A little glassier.
yeah, a little
Okay.
just too. It's like a skating rink, you know, skating on thin ice, you know.
All right.
Not
Wonderful
literally, but you
shot.
know.
Pia, one rack at a time, trying to claw her way
Yeah,
back in. All right.
yeah. Allison had a great break. She had an opportunity to put P away, and she just surprisingly missed a two ball in the corner. So we'll see if Pia can close the gap. Still ways to go.
All right, guys. So what it looks like at the moment, someone was asking me about what's coming up for the stream. We're making sure. We are making sure that what we have coming up next round. So there were some questions. It looks like Savannah and Bean are playing, and then we've got Rita Cheyu Cho versus Xing Xing. I'm not sure I'm saying that right, Mika. That sounds terrible.
You know, you're
We
better
call her
than me.
Pearl. We call her Pearl.
You've had more practice.
So it looks like Rita Cho and Chang are on the feature table, but as you can see in this view right here, the Savannah and Bean match will be in the top side of your view. So you'll actually be able to see both matches. Guys, you guys enjoy Mika for just a second. I have to step away. I'll be right back.
Okay. He has had a good break, but tricky position to be in here. You have to just draw back and try to get the cue ball close to where it is now. I mean, and you have to worry about the side pocket. I mean, you know what? It might really work in your favor if you draw and hit the nipple. So trying for a straight draw. Best case scenario, you might catch a little piece of the side pocket and get an even better position. She cheated it the wrong way, and now she may have to go for a. I like the bank shot here actually because you're there's some blockers there and position on the 4 is automatic. She could also just feather the 3 and play safe behind the 7 and 8, which is also, it's easy. And one other way to play safe is just to kick with a spin, creating a lot of distance. But she's not into any safety here, and she's gonna go for the bank. Go for the run. And looks like she's overcut it, but like I said, the blockers are there. 7 was a blocker, good speed. I feel like Allison might be able to see some piece of that 3. Now, I need Lonnie to change the angle, the camera angle, but she left, so I'm not gonna mess around with any of the hardware here. Let's see how Allison maneuvers this particular position. It's kind of hard to kick because the cue ball could be trekking towards the corner. Hey Lonnie, can we get a different camera angle here real quick? Kind of want to see how much
All right.
the 7's
So
block
just so
and
you
3.
know, which view do you want? The
I
overhead
can I get a
or the side view?
That's one. That helps a little bit. I just
There's
wanted
a
to
side view.
yeah,
and
I
then
wanted to
there's an
see
overhead.
like we don't have the we can't really
Depends.
see how much the 7's blocking, but I feel like if she
Oh.
could see a piece of the 3 and then maybe play safe, go inside English and go towards, you know, the play the 3 ball back and forth. Another way to play it is like if you can hit it, if you can kick it, but like the cue ball could be trekking towards the corners. It's a bit tricky. I like that, but you know, I felt like she could have hit it like much softer. I'm not sure what she was trying to do there with that speed. Maybe she was even trying to spin and then make it straight in and just go all in and get position, but I feel like the speed was a little bit off. Yeah, thanks guys. Well, China, I mean, I'm not playing a tournament. I will be attending a trade show representing Taum, Taum chalks and other accessories. Those that haven't tried it, I feel like it's the best chalk in the business. So just
It is, in my opinion, as well.
shameless plug
Shameless plug.
here.
I don't think it's shameless. I think everyone has preference, right? But to be fair, I would agree with you.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just
I
if
can
you-
wear white and play pool again.
Exactly. That's what I love. I like, you know,
Yeah.
putting on a summer and my
I'm telling you.
white linen
Yeah,
pants, or you know, and then not worry about it
absolutely.
getting all dirty. But
Yeah, it's crazy the difference in that because the previous chalk that was available, only chalk and available for many years, I was always
for
so
for
dirty.
how many hundred years?
Oh, I know, I was so dirty all the time.
Yeah.
I love the town.
Thank you so much. All right, so I got some message here. Mika, you and I played a set 18 years ago. Staten Island. Ooh. 7-6. Oh, that was a
nice.
good set, buddy. You don't new level auto, maybe
I know
introduce yourself.
their screen names are truly brutal sometimes.
But however, very well played. Then if it's you know, you got Hill. I mean, could have gone either way. And now things are happening which needed to happen for Pia. Allison's made a couple of mistakes.
We do see momentum changes frequently, even though the alternate break format doesn't lend itself to that.
Right. And then Allison is guaranteed to have at least 2 breaks. So if she can, you know, break a run, one of them, she still wins the match. And there's nothing Pia can do about it. But, like, she's clawing her way back in the game and gaining some momentum. And then there's a mental side to this can Allison stay strong and just play her game, or is she letting a few errors affect her mental game? But
Well, it looks
time will
like
tell.
Allison is going to take a little break, so I'm going to throw a few commercials.
I think this is a good time for Allison to take a break.
That's right. And Mika and I are also going to take a few minutes break, so you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I love WPBA because it's like a big family and we feel so warm.
The sisterhood amongst the women. One of the greatest gifts I've ever gotten out of pool were the friendships that I've built from them.
What I like most about the WPBA is their continued support for women's pool.
I love the camaraderie and the competitiveness of the WPBA players.
WPBA gives us a chance, a stage to compete and show our passion.
WPBA always supports us in that every tournament we go to, they will always take care of us.
What I love about the WPBA are all the fierce competitors out there.
The competitiveness.
I love the equipment at the WPBA.
I like the most about WPBA that they keep continuing to support women's sport throughout so many years.
What I love about the WPBA are the fans.
What I love most about the WPBA is that we're all kind of like one big family.
I love that the WPBA brings great competition from around the world.
The WPBA has been a huge part of the growth of women's pool, and I love them for that.
All right, folks, no worries. We're just waiting for Allison to re-enter the arena, which I think she is coming around to do now. Well, she is. And Pia did rack the balls. You guys can see at the top of your screen that Christina Tpke is currently up 7-6 over Janet Atwell, needing this rack to win.
Yeah, and she's positioned the 5-ball near the corner. It looks like she's a good favorite to
doing really
take
well.
it from there.
Christina's been grinding. She's had to play some very tough matches. Seems a little off. Or a little. She's been a little off this weekend. I don't know if it's just a tired thing or.
You see a dry break from Allison. That's good news for Pia.
It is. These are exactly the things
like
that Pia needs to happen.
She overcut it.
All right, so guys, someone comes to the booth when you have a superstar helping you do commentary. There is always someone asking things of them. So Mika, we muted his mic so he could speak with someone. All right, back in action. Let's go.
Okay.
She used it to 8. She used the 8 to stop the cue
yeah,
ball.
she's got an angle, and if the side pocket's not the corner, the side pocket's not hindering the position, I feel like she could go just right across and then play into the gap between the 7 and 6 for the 3-ball. So it's just kind of a natural, just a little bit of top spin. Don't try to do anything extra because it's already a tough shot.
Tpke is Lee Babu. Christina's in the top of your view right now. She is not out of the event.
Yeah, she has a shot to
Yeah, you
clinch,
can follow
clinch
the
match
brackets on digitalpool.com. David, I think Caroline was defeated about 2 rounds ago.
Okay, and Pia has just overcut the 2 by quite a large margin, and I feel like she's left Allison a good chance to run out here. If Allison can cut the 2 in the side, can we see an overhead? Yeah, oh, this is good. This is a good view
for the side.
Perfect. Yeah, so this is very, very makeable indeed, and just come back towards where the cue is now, a little bit further. Don't flirt with any other balls there, and looks like he's fairly straight in. Might have to leave a shot to the long corner. Allison would be she's kind of good at this like slow roll, maybe a little bit of a little bit of a drag on this ball. Either that or you have to play this what snooker players would call stand run through, but I think she's just gonna slow roll it. Play it very like pocket speed. Yeah. That's nice. And then try to get straight in on the 5. Use the long rail, just get a nice bounce off the long rail. Just got a perfect angle to do that. And she can just cinch this in. I don't see Allison really making any mistakes here. She's
curious, Mika, would you use the 9 ball, just draw the cue into the 9 to hold the cue there, bumping the 9 towards the left long rail, or go forward? And
she was able to hold it, which is nice. She left a good, nice angle, and now she can just again leave a nice angle. With 7 near the rail, but doesn't really. Everything's just like pretty much a gimme here. 8 inside, 9 in the corner. I mean, all you have to do is just hit this clean, and you have position almost anywhere. I like the way she played that. And now just a touch of a draw. Well, soft and just 9 should be straight in.
And this 9 ball to win this match and advance a little further in the Olhausen Raxx Mezz Invitational.
That's right.
Pia Filler will be exiting 9th through 12th position. Is that right?
Yes. Well played, Allison. She capitalized on some early mistakes from Pia, and then Pia looked like she was going to claw her way back, but
didn't quite get there. Close. Got it within 2.
Yeah.
She was definitely trying to grind it out. Too many mistakes early in the match. Too hard to fight them back.
Right. Alternate break format is just tricky.
So it looks as though we are going to set up for the next match. My name is Lonnie Fox Raymond, and I have Mika Immonen, the Iceman, in the booth with me for this match. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Congratulations to Allison Fischer. Great event for Pia Filler as well. Thanks,
Thank
Mika.
you, Lonnie.
I appreciate you.
It's been a pleasure,
and
as always.
We'll see what's going on here next match. It looks like we're going to get Rita Cho versus Pearl Chiang for the winner's side final 4 matchup. And of course, at the top of your view will be Savannah Easton and Bean Hung. We're going to reboot the stream, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll be back in action shortly.